Hello, hello. Schwa, Gloria,
Good morning.
everybody else down below. Good morning, good morning.
Good
Ah,
morning.
geez.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, I need to mute that one.
Hey, Derek, I totally got frozen. My phone would not reset, couldn't get back into the room. It was like horrible. So finally I said, Siri, will you turn this phone? Because I kept coming up with Siri, but I couldn't. So I go, Siri, could you turn this phone off? And she did. And then I was able to get everything back together.
It's so crazy.
Oh my, I had totally frozen.
I wonder if I know Kristen has Android, I think. I wonder if it happens with her, Kristen Rapoli.
I don't I haven't brought her up, but it was just and I took a chance because for the last couple of times it hasn't given me a problem. But I I, I think it's Clubhouse, but I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah, not worth the mental space.
Exactly. So carry on, sir.
Just modded a bunch of you up. Help me out if you see something happening and I am not watching it, especially today because I'll be on Google Meet. Oh, that's the link I was supposed to put up there, not the discovery call, dummy. How are you going to get over there if I don't put it there? So I will be. I'll reset the room formally, but I will be doing a Google Meet, so screen sharing and recording it, and I'll provide the recording later if you miss something or whatever. Um, and I'll move over. If you go to the Google Meet link, which should be at the top now, you will see my backdrop, and I'm not over there. I'm at my other computer right at the moment, but once I reset and go over there, then we'll be there. I would recommend turning the volume off on the Google Meet probably and listen to the Clubhouse so that if somebody else talks, you can both hear me talk and somebody in the Clubhouse room. And then I guess if somebody talks we'll keep the conversation to on Clubhouse rather than in the Google Meet. And since I'll be sharing the Google Meet, that'll be better anyway, not to have like time of, not that I don't like all you guys, but, and ladies, mostly ladies, all ladies, no dudes. Whoa, Robert, my guy, holding it down for the dudes. All right. Come up if you want. And I will, five after, so I will get her started. You're in the Google for Real Estate House. Click the house above to join if you haven't already. We're here every Wednesday, 9 to 10. I'm Derek Bixler, born and raised in South Central Pennsylvania, single dad of three, commercial and residential real estate agent of 17 years, outdoor adventure sportsman, and Google marketing geek. In this room, we talk about how to dominate Google local search and get business from our Google business profiles, as well as talk about other marketing things like today. We're talking about Facebook ads, mostly because I get a lot of questions about Facebook ads, and people ask in the rooms a lot of times about kind of basic ways to do it. So I figured, why not do a room about it? Replays are available on Clubhouse for a week, then I delete them, and after that, they're available on my website. There's a link for replays. Come up to stage. Your participation is welcome and encouraged, and questions are fine too. Or if you know something about the subject that I don't know, please chime in, or an experience or whatever. That is welcome for sure. And if you're in a different profession other than real estate, most of this stuff usually can apply to anything. You just change as you need for your profession. So today, like I said, we'll be doing meta ads, meta being Facebook and Instagram. There are not, as far as I know, any placements or ads on threads yet, but you can guarantee that that will be coming. That's pretty much why they create new things, why they created Messenger and stories, and why they create new things is so that they have new places to put ads on for the most part. So no ads on there yet, but probably on threads at some point. So meta ads for listings 101. So this is kind of the basic. And it's pretty much the way I do them. So even people that know headier stuff still do the same thing for the most part. Um, we'll do the review exchange as usual. If you want to drop your review link in the comments in the chat on Clubhouse, feel free to do that and give and get reviews. I do see them happening every week, and every review counts, even if it's one every once in a while. It was just a slog, and then all of a sudden, in a few years, you're like, oh snap, I got 21 reviews. That's only four away from 25. And if you get to 25, you're kind of like starting to get in the game a little bit. So every review counts. And next week, I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'll come up with something. At some point, I'm going to have Favor, the guy that was here talking about Pinterest, and he's also one of my subcontractors for websites. I'm going to have him, he knows a lot about SEO. I'm going to have him, I'm going to give him
He's
full access.
awesome.
Yes,
I
he
heard him
knows.
the
He's a
first.
wealth
I
of
love
information.
him.
Yeah, totally. So I'm going to give him full access to my WordPress site, and have him give me an audit, which scares me because I like know enough to be dangerous, and like I know a lot, but it's not my niche, and it's definitely design wise not. But he's not really looking at design other than structure of the design. But anyway, that's going to happen at some point. Probably not by next week, but maybe 2 weeks or so. Or no, I'll be at the beach in 2 weeks, so I probably won't do one. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Next week could be something. Yeah. So we'll get started. Any news? Do I have news? A little bit of news having to do with Google, the chat messaging. Another reminder, and they're sending emails now reminding, as of the 15th, the chat button has gone away. I did verify it. If you go to somebody's profile, you can no longer message the business in your dashboard. You will still have your messages until the 31st, and then they'll just go away altogether. So if you have some messages in there you need to get or need, nobody usually does, but if you do, get them out of there. And also the call tracking button, the call tracking feature going away, or yeah, going away as of July 31st. So you should see that drop off as well. I also just got an email the other day that Google Vid just dropped. I get it's kind of it's part of Gemini. It's part of the AI stuff that they're putting out there. It's basically a video presentation generator that plugs into Workspace. So it's part of Workspace, and if you pay for Workspace, you get it. Or if you could pay for Workspace to have it, but I think the Gemini is an add-on for Workspace for the extra features. Or you could also do the Gemini add-on to a regular, like your regular Gmail email address. But anyway, this Google Vid thing dropped. I kind of looked at it. It pretty much just there's templates for kind of like a slideshow-ish kind of video presentation. You could check it out. It's very basic, like lots of Google stuff. I was hoping it when I saw the email come in, I was like, oh snap, great! It's the video like the text to video thing. That's what I wanted, was type of something in here and we'll make a video, generate a video out of it. And that's not what it is. It's more of a kind of presentation builder. You could kind of even just edit video in there if you wanted to, but it sucks. CapCut and other things are way better anyway. But that did drop, so it's a sign of them creating more AI stuff that they have talked about in the past, and it's actually coming out, but not really the good thing yet. Your post, I wrote that. Oh, your update has been removed. I didn't check the policy verbatim, so I'm going to skip this piece of news, but I wrote this down. Your update has been removed because I'm an admin on a lot of people's profiles, and I've been seeing lately, and some habitual offenders too. Uh, I see that Google will send you an email that says your post has been removed because it's against our policy, which means one of the updates they posted has been removed, and it's probably would still be sitting in there in their dashboard saying rejected or whatever. But just I didn't pull the policy up. That's why I'm saying I'm going to skip it. You definitely want to keep any phone numbers, websites, like in the text of any updates. You don't want any websites. You can put a website like if you want to use the button and put the website in there, but phone numbers, websites, like a lot of that, Google sees that as spammy or salesy. Your phone number is already in the Google Business Profile right there. Your website is already right there. All that stuff is already provided, so they don't want you, and on images too, putting phone numbers and that kind of stuff. So I think that's usually what it is for a lot of people, but at some point I'm going to pull up the actual policy and I'll read it to you guys. I'll probably do a video on it. Actually, it's on my checklist for the next video I do. Uh, and then I'm having problems with adding photos to new profiles. So new, I've had two cases now where it's a brand new profile and it will allow me to do every optimization, add products, do updates, change all the, do everything, except it will not take any photos other than the logo. It takes the logo, but the cover photo and any other photos get rejected no matter how many times I try or wait like a month and then do it or whatever. And the only thing I can think of that might be it is maybe they instituted that you can't add any until you have some reviews. Both accounts have 0 reviews. So now my hypothesis after time and trying and trial and error and nobody else, anything I listen to, nobody's ever heard of this or talked about it. So my hypothesis is that possibly they've done something now with the algorithm or in the programming that does not allow you to add photos until you have some reviews. So that'll be the test here. We'll try to get some reviews. My goal is always 10 from the jump. That's your first goal, is to get at least 10. Um, and then see at 5, I'll probably check for the photos because I'm itching to get the jobs done. But hopefully that is it. Or at some point you have to put a help ticket in if photos never will take on a profile. So that is the news. Got a couple tips here I wrote down. Have nothing to do with Google. I don't usually share random tips. I have like a spot for it in my outline that I look at every time, but I don't usually share them. But this time I did write 2 down. One being, I do a lot of Zoom sessions with people. One being, and these are kind of productivity basic, very basic, I think, but things that like shocking amount of people do not do. These 2 very basic productivity things. One is maximize your windows. And you Apple people love to not maximize a window or have like 8 windows open at once. If you don't have your window maximized, you have to scroll a lot more side to side, up to down. It doesn't show as much of the screen. So instead of, it saves you time being able to look over rather than scroll or do something. It also takes away distractions. So PC people seem to be better at it, but Apple people, it's all, I'm like, can you, it gets me every time. They're screen sharing, and I'm like, why can't I see anything? And they're like, all right, click that green. I think it's like a stop light thing, whatever, a traffic light there. Click the green button and make it as big as possible, so you can be productive and block out distractions and see everything and all that stuff. So first tip is maximize your windows, no matter what you're doing, whether it's Google or something else, and also use a mouse. If I don't know how you could ever get work done on a laptop with one of those with the pad, the little pad that's like on the laptop, and you're using 2 hands, and it takes people forever to do anything, and like you cannot work that way. That is going to make anything you do on a computer, which is like everything, um, so slow. I mean, the increase in time and productivity by introducing a mouse, if you're doing that pad thing, is immense. So use a mouse and maximize your windows are your tips for today. So before I jump over to the Google Meet and jump into the Facebook meta ads, do we have any questions, issues, or anything with Google Business Profile or local services ads? All right, we'll jump into it. Let me just get my bearings. All right, I'm going to leave that one go and go over here. And again, the link is above. See Marina coming in. Somebody calling to add to the confusion. All right. Gloria, come on in. I'm going to start recording now. And all right. So you can all still hear me on Clubhouse. Good, right?
Yes.
Thanks. And I will narrate for those that are not coming to the Google Meet. Hey, Gloria. I will narrate as I go as well, so you'll also know what's going on. And obviously, you can go catch the replay later. That you can hit me up for it, or it'll be in my course as a bonus. And not probably, it will be in my email today. But if you don't see it or get it somehow, feel free to reach out to me to get the recording. So, all right. So we're talking about meta ads for your listings. Three basic things I'm going to go over. Overview of the ads or the posts that I do for listings. Sometimes I do more or a variation or whatever, but there's kind of a certain number of ads or different posts that I do for every listing, no matter what. So we'll kind of go over those. And then all those listings or all those posts would be the posts that you would be boosting. And boosting an existing post is what we're going to be doing here for the most part. I'll kind of show you a little bit how you can create an ad from scratch. That'll be part of what we're doing. But when I do it, we're going to be using an existing post. So I'm going to show you kind of how to just boost a post and then how to create an ad with an existing post. And that'll make more sense when I go into it a little bit. So first things first, you have to have a Facebook business page to run a meta ad. You cannot run a meta Instagram ad without a Facebook business page. You can run them from a personal profile, like I have a creator profile, and I can run ads on my personal profile, but I cannot run real estate ads because personal profiles do not have the option as of right now to select a special category. There are certain categories: credit, employment, politics, housing. I think that's all of them. We are housing, obviously, and so you have to select that you are that special ad category, which removes a bunch of targeting options. If you don't select it and you run real estate ads, at some point you're going to get blocked and shut down. So since that option is not available on a personal creator account, that means I have to run my ads through a Facebook business page, which is a better way to do it anyway. Related to Google, Google also likes a Facebook business page. If you have a Facebook business page and you have reviews on it, it will pull in those reviews. You'll see on somebody's profile that it has their Google reviews, but then also says on Zillow, they have this. On experience.com, sometime I'm seeing that one a lot lately. They have 5 stars, 20 reviews. On Facebook, they have 5 stars, 32 reviews, and that kind of thing. So everybody should have a Facebook business page, in my opinion. You also can't check in at a business if you don't have a Facebook business page. You can't check in there yourself. It's not an actual place if you don't have a Facebook business page. To run ads, like I talked about, just to be professional and appear more professional. What business, reputable business, doesn't at least have a Facebook business page? So I think it's super important to have and optimized. Doesn't mean you have to be dominating and crushing it and like getting tons of exposure and getting calls every day or whatever, but it should at least be created and look pretty. And then all your real estate posts should go on there. I also post them a lot of times to my personal, or I'll share it from my business to my personal. If you want to do it on both separately, whatever, but I would definitely have a Facebook business page, and you have to have it to be able to do what we're talking about doing today. Also, to do what we're going to be talking about today, you have to have a Meta Ads manager or an ad account. I'm not going to go into that. You could just Google create ad account, or when you go to boost your first post, typically it will say enter a credit card. And then once you do that once, you basically have an ad account then. And then you can just go to adsmanager.facebook.com and it should take you to your ad account. And if you have more than one ad account, you'll see a toggle to switch between the ad accounts. So if you do that, if you go to look at your ads and you see like, what's that ad? And I don't remember doing that, or it was a long time ago and that's not what I just did, check it that it's the correct ad account. Maybe you created a new one accidentally. Another thing that I am not going to go over in this would be installing your Facebook pixel, your Meta pixel on your website. Your Meta pixel, that's a cookie. That's the code that you take from your ad account, from your business manager account in Meta, and you install it on your website, which is fairly easy and quick for people that know how to do it. Um, Pretty much just a copy and paste in the proper place on your website. Save that, and now all the visitors that go to your website, it's tracking it, and then that allows you later to create a custom audience on Meta, which I'll show you how to do. Very easy once it's set up. You can just say, hey, for this ad, I want to target all the people that have been to my website or all the people that have been to this specific page of my website. You could even get as granular as all the people that have been to this page and clicked this button or whatever. Most people are not getting that granular, at least definitely these listing ads. I answered a phone call there by accident. Um, So you have to have an ad account. So create your ad account, and then the Facebook pixel also. Again, I'm not going to go into that. If you need help with that, you can hit me up separately. Maybe I'll do another supplemental video about how to do that because it is getting slightly more confusing, kind of. But you would have to have that installed on your website to retarget people. Also, a note on the retargeting. Apple, a lot of times, and Android too, you could turn cookies off. Typically, they're on more on Android, and Apple is the one that is stopping a lot of the tracking codes and all that stuff. So just beware that a lot of Apple users may not get cookied or pixeled, but there are other ways to retarget people if you wanted to retarget people anyway, which we'll talk about a little bit in this. So we will get into it. First way you can boost a post or create an ad for a listing. Well, no, first thing is the different kinds of posts I do for listings. So I'm going to go back to a listing from April, or it started in April, just settled like a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. There we are. That's the open house. All right, so typically I'm going to have at least 4 or 5 posts no matter what, and sometimes I come up with more. But there's going to be one post that is going to be the coming soon. A lot of time for me, I usually just put one image and a link. That gets more clicks. Anybody that's out there looking for a house, it hits their reticular activating system, and they want to know the details. People that aren't in the market for a house, it might annoy them. They might like, just put the information there or just give us the pictures, which I get, it does annoy. But if you are in the market for a house, you're going to click if you want that information, especially if it's coming soon and you're not seeing it in your feed, your IDX that you're getting from your broker or on Zillow or whatever. So the coming soon, I like to put one image. All my posts you'll see are pretty much the same exact body. The description, the caption of the post are the same exact thing. I like to have a system, makes it easier for me to do things. Um, has all the hashtags that I want in there. You know, if it's a different city, I got to change some of the hashtags or whatever. I have my compliance signature, my full signature at the bottom. Don't have to redo that. So every time I'm doing a property post, I'm pretty much just copying a previous one, and then the top just gets changed from coming soon, for sale, sale pending, closed, whatever you're doing. So coming soon up there. I like to do the place, Carlisle, because again, the main things that people are typing into the search bar when they're looking for houses is what you want to have way at the top before them clicking see more, the caption. So first you want to call out what it is. Is it for sale? Is it coming soon? What is it? Then the number of beds, everybody's typing that in, and the place. You could replace the bats with maybe square footage or some other thing, but I just put pretty much the basic info. So anybody that's looking for a house in the general Carlisle area, 3 bed, they're going to want to know more about this. So they're more apt to click see more and read the rest of the caption, and they're more apt to click to my website where I can cookie them, blah, 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 and read more, watch videos, all that stuff. And then I have bullet points. Again, that's probably, yeah, not much to change. I'm changing the top part. I'm changing the bullet points. Come up with at least, I try to come up with at least 3 positives about the house, whatever it is. And then I always have add or and more. And then I always have a link right there. I like to Bitly-ify. I like to use Bitly to create my links so I can track it. You wouldn't necessarily have to, that would save a step. And then where it goes to a property page on my website, which I won't get into too deep, but that's my basic post structure. The text always stays the same, change the things I need to change, have the important information that's going to make people click all the way at the top. Don't give away all the information. I do want them to click to get more. And I have a bunch of different posts that I do this with. So coming soon, and coming soon could also be a video, possibly. Maybe I do a video, but it's definitely going to be at least that still picture, single image post, then maybe something else, depending on sometimes the timeline of when I'm getting my content, how quick the listing's going on, and do I even have my drone footage back from the photographer yet to do coming soon with the drone video. Maybe the drone video is going to get dropped after we're on the market or whatever. So sometimes it varies in when the content gets dropped, but I'm dropping different types of content all the time. So coming soon, that's a still picture. You can see with this one, it went for sale. Again, same exact text, just changed it for sale at the top, different emojis. And this one is a collage of photos post. So different kinds of posts hit different people in different placements on Facebook. So it could be in the feed. A collage post like this would mainly just be in the feed. You would not see that in reels or in stories when you boost it. I mean, maybe, but we'll talk about that later. But mainly it's going to be sitting in the feed. So that's why I like to boost different types of posts, because it's going to hit different people that like different types of posts and interact with different types of posts. Um, and it puts you out there with Facebook and all the different places. So you can see this one when it went for sale, boom, post for sale, and I did all the collage of photos. No stuff on the photos. I don't. You can do whatever you want. I just like graphics on photos, me cut out on it, my logo, some highly produced cover image. I hate it. Just the pretty pictures of the house is what I think nice and classy. But you can do whatever you want. Sometimes for coming soon, you can see if you're watching that I sometimes put stuff on there. I didn't even look. Deborah, Elizabeth missed a couple people waiting to watch, and I didn't let you in. All right. So I clicked, and then for that same house, then you see it went on the market, and then I posted a couple days later. I like to kind of having different types of content and different types of posts allows you to post over time and always have something new to show to the public. So this post later was the video. It's a horizontal video. Sometimes I do a vertical version also of the walkthrough, so, when you boost it, it can play in stories and look how it should look, yada, yada. This particular one I've pulled up right now is the horizontal version. Um, and if you click it, you'll see that it kind of starts outside the house, goes up to the front door. As soon as I open the door, it goes black and says click for full tour. Again, possibly annoying people that are not in the market for a house, but anybody that is in the market for a 3 bed house in Carlisle is going to click that. It it drives traffic. It drives clicks more than any other ad I've ever tried. So if you're trying to decide what type of post to do or the best one to boost, I would say a video. Could be a drone video. You'll see on here. I posted it as an event, which you can boost the event Facebook post. But then you also see I also have a drone video. So my walkthrough video drop and my drone video drop are not put into one video. They are separate things, separate posts, separate videos when you go onto my website. But when I, sorry, I lost my place there. So 15-second video could be a walkthrough, could be the drone video. I usually keep them separate. I keep them under 15 seconds because under 15 seconds, again, when you boost it, can go in the most placements. Doesn't have to get split up into multiple stories. Plus, for attention span and everything, 15 seconds is pretty good. There are places and times when I know people that run full webinars as an ad, like an hour-long video as an ad, and they get people to watch it, or at least a portion of it, and it converts and gets them calls or whatever. That's not real estate stuff, but longer ads can work, but in this case I like to keep it short, 15 seconds, under 15 seconds. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 12, whatever, but definitely I always keep it 14.9, not even 15 seconds, in case there's some glitch and it's slightly over or something. So under 15-second video, give them a little bit of a teaser. I would call it a teaser. That's what I save these videos at. Wide screen 16:9 walkthrough teaser for 123 Main Street. That's what it's file named in my thing. So a teaser under 15 seconds causes people to want to see more. They click, go to your website, you retarget them, can show them with ads in perpetuity for as long as you want. You can also retarget people based on watching the video, which I'll show you a little bit. You can pick people that have watched it for 5%, 10%, 95%, whatever percent of that video. You can say they've watched multiple videos, whatever you want to do. So the video posts show up a lot of places. They command a lot of attention. They get good clicks. And you can retarget the video itself, even if you can't retarget them on the website, like I said. So videos, that's my favorite one for listings for sure. A video under 15 seconds, give them a teaser, cuts out right before they get the money shot or what they want, and says click for full tour and details. And then when they click, make sure they get all the stuff that they want. When you click to my website page that I create, it has all the videos on it. It has the disclosures, the utilities, barring if something's sensitive or they don't want it on there out to the public. But pretty much anything that's in the agent documents, as long again it's not sensitive and the seller is saying it's okay to be out there, it's going to be out there on my website. So my webpage has more than you will find anywhere else on the internet in one place. So when people click, they really do get all the stuff. So that's my favorite post. So those are the main posts. Post it a bunch of different ways. What do I got there? That drone is one. My walkthrough video is 2 posts. My coming soon is 3 posts. My collage photos is 4 posts. And then you could add, oh, the reel. I also, if there's time and I have the energy for it, you can see if you're watching, I made a reel for this one about the red door. It had a red door, so I did a video about red doors around the world mean different things. It means you paid off your house in Ireland or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then this red door has an awesome backyard, is close to restaurants, blah, blah, blah. Uh, my people's favorite video that I've ever done, actually. But anyway, if I have time, I also do a real video. So now we're up to like 5 posts. Live, if you do live, I like to do that. If everything goes according to plan. A lot of times I do it right from the open house if I don't have time to do it separately or go over there. So that would be 6, 7-ish with the live. Then if you're posting for the pendings and the closed and all that, you're up at least you're getting close to 10 posts that you're doing. Plus, all these things are getting dropped in stories as well as reels and in the feed and all that stuff. So when you're doing all this stuff and you show the seller that you're doing all that stuff, and you're boosting them and hitting dip blah blah blah, they can't argue that you're not marketing the crap out of their house, and it's going to be the price. It's always the price. If you're marketing the crap out of it and you've done everything to the house that you're going to do with it, then it always comes down to the price. So I always like to make sure that I can go to them and say, look, we are marketing the crap out of this in all different kinds of ways, and there's no way that that is the problem. So I would post it all the different ways. It also spreads out your content. You don't just get like one for sale post, you get a bunch. What was that? That was like 6 or 7 just for putting it on the market. And then that's not the close, the sold, the client picture, any of the other stuff that you get later. So it gives you a good 6, 7 days worth of posts. And if you're doing them every other day, so it's not crazy repetitive and you have other listings or things going on, it gives you a lot of content to be posting. So I would post it all those different ways. So that is an overview of the posts that I usually do for every listing, and I think most people should be doing. And obviously, you could have some variations to them, or add, or delete, or whatever as needed. But that's my favorite. And that video post is also my favorite one to boost, which we will go into now. So when you go to your ads manager, like I said, if you're seeing the wrong thing, you can hit a toggle at the top to switch between ad accounts. A note, if you get an ad account, if you forget to select that housing button, like a lot of people do, the special category, and you run some real estate ads and it's okay, and then all of a sudden you get shut down, that ad account gets shut down, do not fret. You just ignore it, leave it there, shut down, create another account. You could have multiple active accounts that have permission to run ads for different pages, for different pixels, for different business assets. So you can see here, I have two different ad accounts open, and on both of them, I can run ads for my real estate, for my Facebook business page, or my real estate Facebook business page. I only have my pixels set up on one of them, which is why I have two of them open right now, because I did the fake ad that I was going to use as the example in the wrong account, and then I have to go to the other one to show you how to retarget people. But okay, so now we will jump into boosting it or creating the ads, and we are 23 minutes out. Still pretty good at time. I might go a little bit over, especially if I have questions. And Joie, admitting you. If you're coming in and I'm not letting you into the Google Meet, feel free to say something on Clubhouse, and I will look. Thanks for joining us, Shari, Joie, and others. All right, so I'm in these two ad accounts here, and I have deleted all my previous ads for reasons for privacy, blah, blah, blah. So you're only going to see in these ad accounts one ad in each. In this ad account, that's a dummy ad that I did this morning uh, for these purposes, and I'm going to start from scratch, but I wanted to run through creating it because things do change on a daily, and actually in the last couple of days have changed on mobile. Well, in the last week, probably different accounts got it at different times, but I'll talk about that. So one account there, and then another account, which we're going to talk about retargeting. So before we talk about creating an ad in the ads manager, which is probably, well, what headier people will do, but you really only need to boost a post. However, oh, and I'll comment that anybody that says boosting a post, you shouldn't do it, you need to create it in Ads Manager, blah, blah, blah. Sure, yes, that's better to create it in Ads Manager and do all the heady things and everything. But that takes a lot of time and expertise, and it's not inherently bad to boost a post. If the post is good, especially if the post already has some likes and shares and comments and things, that's the perfect one to use for an ad because it already has social proof with it. And a lot of marketers will even talk about that. So using an existing post for an ad or boosting a post, quote unquote, is not inherently bad. Are there more heady ways to do it? Sure, but it is not bad, especially as far as what we're talking about. And for listings and real estate stuff, it's great. So to boost a post, which we're going to start with the easiest part. First things first, like I said, on mobile, it sucks now. If you try to boost a post, at least on my accounts on my phone, if I go to boost a post, it doesn't give me any options and doesn't let me change any like any of it. There are no options for the goal of the ad. There's no options for the budget. It dictates everything. It makes it really, really simple for the business owner, maybe. And maybe they're trying to default get people to pay more because my default this morning when I tried it a couple different ways was $60. And most of the ads I run are not $60. They could be, but these are pretty small budgets we're using here. So um, I would not do it from the phone. Also, another note from the phone, if you are an Apple user, they now charge you an extra if you boost from the Facebook app on an Apple phone. So this is only if you boost a post from the Facebook app on an Apple phone, Apple will charge you an extra 30% on top. So if your budget's $10, they're going to charge you, you're going to charge $13. 3 of it is going to Apple, and they charge you up front. So if you boost your own post or create your own ad and you put it to $100 and it gets to $37 and you're like, I want to stop this, I'm not getting anything, or I just, whatever, I want to stop it, it will stop at $37. You only pay what you spent. Even if you boosted the post and said, I want it to run for 5 days and everything was kind of predetermined, $10 for this many days and everything, if you turn that off early, it typically does not charge you. On Apple, it will now charge you the full amount, whether you turn it on or off. So that's another uh, note on that. But I would just, if you're boosting a post, even if you're only boosting a post and not creating a crazy heady ad, I would still do it on desktop now that this change has occurred. So if you're watching, I am now, or if you're not watching, I'm going to explain it to you. I am on my Facebook business page. And I'm going to scroll down to the post I want to boost. Like I said, I like the video ones the best. Let's do the drone video for that listing I was talking about. I'm going to click the boost post button, which is going to take me over to a little dashboard. You will see a place where you can select which account you're in. Make sure you are in the correct account, especially if, like me, I manage a lot of accounts and I don't want to run an ad for myself on somebody else's dime. So make sure you're in the correct ad account. Your goal will be all the way at the top. So goals would be things like, do you want to get more video views? Do you want to get more leads or calls? Get more website visitors, traffic, yada yada. And depending on the creative, whether it's a video that's and how long it is, whether it's images or collage images, you might have different goals available. Obviously, you wouldn't have video views as a goal if it was a photo post, but in this video one, I have video views uh, as an option. That's typically my favorite one for a video. You could also do get leads, get more leads, which we'll go into a little bit. That's the one that you would use. That's the one that all the systems use to get you those. I hesitate to say crappy leads. That's terminology I always use, but it's no, you know what I mean. It's those leads that like people on Facebook, it auto populates their information. They want to see the house information. They're just like, yes, yes, whatever, whatever. But they might not really be in the market for it, or they don't understand that they're giving their information away, or whatever. And you have to call them a lot, or they don't answer, or they're opting in everywhere. And I already have an agent. So it's going to be those typical same type of leads. And a lead form, a lead ad is the way that those companies are doing it. If you're getting leads through KV Core, or pushing the button, or any of the other things, and leads pop into your CRM, they are most likely running a lead ad where it immediately takes the information right on Facebook. And it targets people that are more apt to fill out a lead ad or engage with a lead ad. And that's another point, actually, too. Whatever your goal you select, Google or Facebook is automatically it's going to target everybody you tell it to, but it's also going to focus on the people that watch videos. Or if you put it to get more messages, it's kind of focused kind of on people that click the message and message businesses, or the people that call, or whatever. So which one do I use for this post? For these video posts, typically I'm doing get more video views, because my goal really, again, I don't want those leads. I don't have a good set. I suck at those leads. I've done them and I don't have a good way to follow up. I hate doing it. I just not something I want to deal with. Some people are great at it. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I do video views because I really just want to get eyeballs on it, get me view counts for my listing. If a listing stays on the market, which it doesn't, but if it does, every month I need to have fodder to tell them I'm doing stuff. So sometimes you're just trying to get the most views. Also, I just kind of want to get my face and my name out there to as many people rather than getting leads. So I prefer the digital billboard, quote unquote, kind of method rather than trying to actively get leads. So I just personally like video views. That's what we'll do for this example. My second favorite would be get website visitors. Driving traffic is the main goal of any business. Once you drive the traffic to your website, no matter how you do it, again, you can pixel them, cookie them, follow them around the internet. Also, if they've clicked to your website, they're interested. So if you have a good website or a sales page, they might click it and reach out to you or something. So website visitors is a big thing. So those would probably be my two out of these choices. choices being, for those that aren't seeing it, get more messages, get more video views, get more leads, get more calls. I would not do the calls one. I've tried call buttons a lot, and never once have I gotten a call or any client gotten a call off of Facebook. Google, different platform, different thing. There, we're definitely trying to get calls on Facebook. I'm not haven't had good experiences with it, so I'm not doing that one. And then website visitors was the other one. So for these purposes, I'm going to do video views. Another reason I like video views is it will still give you a button to put on there, a learn more button, and try to drive traffic. So you can kind of get both for your two birds with one stone, video views and website visitors, website traffic with the video views one. If you were to boost a collage post and pick engagement, which would be the equivalent of video views, just let's get more people to see it, an engagement goal, you would not have the ability to have a learn more button. It would give you only a send message, a call now, and a WhatsApp. And there might be one other one, but there's no like pick what the button says and send them wherever you want to send them. So the video, that's another reason I love video posts, because if you're boosting it, it also gives you more options and more things. So I would do get more video views, click save, then you can see the text. I just use whatever text I put in the post. I've already structured that the way I want it, so I leave it that way. You can see in the preview on the side, it's still showing a call now button. I wouldn't worry about that too much. A lot of times the preview on the side isn't correct for the settings that you currently have changed, so I wouldn't worry about that. Text generation, they do have AI in here. So far, or maybe I'm just a okay copywriter, I don't know, but I don't like the AI text generation, but you could try that if you wanted to. Advantage Plus Creative, I like to turn it off typically. Um, I had to think about it because I had to think back to which kind of post I was boosting here. Advantage Plus Creative will basically change your video. Like if I have a widescreen video that I'm boosting, like in this case, that's why I'm going to turn it off, because I have a widescreen video, and if I turn on Advantage Plus Creative in stories or a vertical format, it might it might just show the vertical video with, letterboxing, black space up and down above it and below it, or it might just take it upon itself to zoom in, to crop it and zoom in which case it gets pixelated, it cuts off my words, and it doesn't look right to the person watching it. So usually with the Advantage Plus, with the creative part where it's giving Facebook the ability to change it however it needs to for the different placements, I usually turn that off because I want it to appear in its original format. And if I just missed out on some of the placements because it doesn't match there, which we'll talk about a little bit more later, then that's fine with me. If the horizontal video is only going to show on the feed, that's fine with me. And if I want to have something that shows everywhere perfectly, I will go in there and put a different video format for each one and do the heady ad creation or whatever. So video, video views, leave the text the way it is. Advantage Plus Creative, I usually turn it off. You could turn it on if it makes sense or whatever. I turn it off. The button, again, I said the video views will give you a button option. And for this, I usually do a learn more button. That's the one that makes the most sense typically. I did see a button. Now I don't see it. Earlier, just before the room, there was a button that said get access. And I loved that as an option. And I hadn't seen it before, and I'm not seeing it now. But if you see that, that might be a good one too. But typically, it's going to be learn more, probably. Website URL you can put in there. Like I said, I have my bit.ly link in the post itself already, so people can still click that. And then typically I would paste that same exact link in the learn more right there. Special ad category, like I said, don't forget that. It's easy to scroll past and not select. So turn it on, make sure it's on housing. Go away, please. Maybe if I turn it off and on. There we go. Audience. So, like I said, as soon as you select the housing option, the audience, a lot of the audience, most of the audience targeting options go away. So, if you go in here to edit your audience, you will see that I cannot change the age, I cannot change the sex, I cannot target people based on income or things like that. I can really the only way you can target is by location. So I typically do usually addresses are not in here. They want like a business or a city or something. So usually do whatever the city is it's in. So Carlisle, and there are a few Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And then the biggest, why is it not? Oh, the smallest radius you can do is 15 miles. And I don't usually there's a, oh, there. Duh. The smallest you can do is 15 minute or 15 miles. You used to back in the day be able to target like the house almost. You could like target one person almost and be like, right here, show that ad to right here. But now you can't do that. With other ad categories, you can go closer in, but with housing, credit, employment, those special categories, 15-mile radius. So you're doing the town, the house is in, plus 15 miles, save it. And you can even save your audiences. It's not giving me the option here. In the ads manager, it definitely does, but you can also save audiences. So if you had some specific audience set up with a bunch of different things, especially like a custom audience for website visitors and email subscribers and stuff, you can save audiences to easily access them even in a boosted post. Uh, Back in here because I forgot, there is a little bit of detailed targeting you can do. They take away most of the stuff that you can do in here, but you can 15-mile radius around a location, and then also interests like Zillow, you'll see there. I think mortgage loans, people interested in mortgage loans, people interested in mortgage calculators, people, let's see if moving comes up, interested in moving companies, those kinds of things. I don't think they let you do demographic information, only interest. Yeah, that's how they restrict it. You can do people that are interested in things, but not based on their like how much money they make or that kind of thing. I usually do not use any of that detailed marketing because I kind of just again want my stuff in front of the most people, even if they're not in market. I kind of just want to show it to everybody. But if you wanted to be more hardcore about it, I really want to get some opt-in leads. Maybe you pick the lead form, and then here you're going to pick people that are really in market and try to target it down a little bit more so maybe you can get the more finely tuned leads or whatever. But typically, I just leave it a radius and do no detailed targeting. Sometimes Facebook will automatically put a Zillow and more, put a few detailed targetings in there for you. So you got to check that sometimes and make sure they didn't already. And if you don't want them in there, delete them, or if they haven't, good to go or whatever. But I'm just going to do 15-mile radius around the town that the listing is in. Then your budget could be as low as $1 a day with Facebook. And even that can get you some clicks, can get you something. Micro budgets are not to be forgotten or dismissed. You can get action for micro budgets. Typically, what I do is like a 2 to 5, maybe five's probably my favorite. A lot of my posts, since things sell fast right now, a lot of my boosted posts, I go coming soon like a week before it goes active, then it's only active for a few days before it goes pending. So there's only like a week or 10 days or something where I can run ads, and I have different ads posting over multiple days. So as soon as it drops, it's coming soon, I'm dropping a post. I'm boosting that one for 10 days at like $5 a day or $2 a day and ending it usually on the open house day because typically I'll be selling it like the day after the open house or a couple days. And you could extend the ad or make it longer or do a new post later. But typically, that one then gets boosted till open house. And then a day later or 2 days later, when I boost the walkthrough video teaser, that one gets boosted for 5 days or however many days up into ending at the open house. So typically a few bucks, $5 if you want to go harder, $10 for 10 days. That's still only $100. And if you're doing your ad creative right and the stuff right, you'll get a bunch of views. You'll probably get more views than multi-list and all the other things combined, and maybe even more clicks if you do it right. Not guaranteeing that, but like even with $2 a day for I could spend I could spend 20, $25 on ads and get more views and more clicks and all that than all the other stuff, which is great in a report to a seller that says, here's all the stuff from the multi-list and the stuff that every agent does. And then here's the stuff that I did for you. And maybe you also do mailers and circle dialing and door knocking. And then also online, I'm also getting you my stuff is getting you more eyeballs than all the other stuff. So it's a great thing to have in there. But so $5 a day. Let's say I'm doing this for 7 days. It's 7 days till the open house. I'm gonna do. It's not giving me 35 manual. There we go. 35. So that's $5 a day. Placements. Typically, you're going to leave the placements on automatic. Placements being the feed, stories, on apps, in reels, in display videos, like in the middle of somebody watching a video, they now show ads in the middle, kind of like YouTube does. So typically, to keep it easy, you just leave that the way it is. And I kind of want to hit everybody in different places. Different people are in different places. Some people like stories, some people like the feed, some people like are in their messages a lot or whatever. So I usually leave that the automatic placements on. However, you can toggle on and off. I don't want it in Messenger. I don't want it in Instagram. When we create the ad in Ads Manager, you will see you have really specific ways that you can select or deselect different placements. Like you could be on Instagram, but not in Instagram stories. Or, you can fine tune all the different things in there. But here, it's really just what platform for the most part. But typically, I'm just going to leave it on uh, the recommended, leave it the way it is. If you have a pixel set up, I always turn that on. It's tracking no matter what, but for some reason they ask you if you would like to video call. I just had a video call coming in. That's weird. I'm getting a lot of calls while I'm on the. Hopefully, none of these are leads. Probably sales calls, no messages. Anyhow, what was that? The pixel. So it'll ask you if you want to track blah 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 with your pixel. Whether you turn it on or off, it should be tracking it anyway. But if you have a Pixel installed, you're turning that on. And then again, the payment method is at the bottom. And if that is wrong, you need to change the ad account that you're in so you make sure you are charging the right account that you want to charge. But that is the gist of it. You boost it, you pick your goal, video views. I'm typically doing for that video one. My button's going to be learn more. My link is going to be the same link from the post, sending them to the property page, which I can target them and cookie them and retarget them if I want to. Also houses all the information I can possibly put out there. You're selecting your special ad category as housing. Do not forget that. Your audience, it's the place where the house is, plus 15 miles. Could add some interests if you want to. Budget, I'd say $2. The $1 a day maybe is too low for these days. It's not if you want to test stuff and just for fun, $1. And I still do $1 a day all the time, but I'm gonna officially maybe say $2 to $5 a day to begin with, and then sky's the limit, obviously. And if you see something performing, that's the one good thing about micro budgets. Like if you were posting every day on your real estate business page and you just do $1 a day strategy where you're boosting every post every day just for $1 a day. You're going to force more people to see each one of those posts. And if somebody reacts to one, it's kind of a way to test content. If somebody reacts, oh, that one got a lot of shares and comments, and people like that one, that might be one to boost again, or create a full heady ad out of and go $100 over a couple days, or boost the budget to a little higher. Maybe add a lead form to that one or whatever. So micro budgets can get you results and also is a good way to test content and ads and posts and then find one that maybe could catch fire that you should scale. So doing $5 a day on that one. Typically, again, I'm ending on the open house day circumstances could dictate otherwise, but that's what I typically do. And then I'm going to click publish. And then once you click publish, if you go to your ads manager, you should see it sitting in there. You're not seeing any in here, but it would say post colon, and then it would kind of have the title or the first, usually it's the first line of the, so it would say like coming soon, that first line from my post would be there. So you would see those in here and you would be able to turn them on and off with the toggle switch. Like if you wanted to turn it off early, you come in here and turn it off. It will also say, in this one, you can see it says in draft because I didn't complete it. I didn't click publish. Once you click publish, it'll say in review. So if you make a mistake, or don't be worried, like I put my budget mistakenly at this or whatever, it will review for a little while. Most times, hour or so, you should get a notification on Facebook, possibly an email that says your ad is approved and running now, and that's when it is actually running. But at first, if you don't push publish, it's just going to say in draft and is not running. And after you click publish, it's going to say processing or in review. And then after that, it's running and spending your money, and you can turn it on and off whenever you want to. So they would appear in there, and this is where you could also come and extend it. You know, you could click on it and edit the things in it just like you could any other ad for the most part. So that's boosting a post. So, and again, reminder, I would do it on desktop rather than on mobile. On mobile, it is very, very, very limited as to what you can do. On desktop, still pretty limited, not like creating an ad in the ads manager like we're about to do, but it's a little bit more. You at least get to change stuff. In my experience on mobile, I couldn't really change anything, or maybe I was completely missing something, but I would do it on desktop. And if you're on Apple, I would definitely do it on desktop because you're going to pay 30% more if you do it from your phone. So now we'll jump over to the ads manager. And let's say I didn't want to boost it and I wanted to create a custom audience and get a little bit more heady with it. Or maybe you just want to see how to create an ad from scratch, the way not boosting, just creating it from scratch. So that's what we're going to do now. We are going to use an existing post as the creative, as the actual ad. But everything I'm going to show you is the way that you create a regular ad from scratch in here. So I am going to use, yeah, I'm going to use the one with my pixel. And we're going to click create. So click create. You're going to have goals again. First, you're going to pick what you want it, what the goal of the campaign is going to be. So is it going to be awareness, just getting it in front of as many people, which would be your quote unquote kind of digital billboard, which is a good one. And I kind of like, because again, I don't go for those opt-in leads. I more just want to stay in front of my people and new people or people that have been to my website or whatever. So awareness is a popular one. Traffic, another one that I like a lot. I like to generate traffic and have that button. However, even with an awareness campaign or an engagement campaign or a sales campaign or the other ones, you can still usually have a button. So you could do like an awareness or an engagement and then still have a button on it. But traffic is a pretty popular one. For this, we're going to go with engagement because under engagement would be video views. And remember, video views is one of my favorite ones. You still get a button, but it's still putting your stuff in front of people. People like video these days, yada, yada. Lots of reasons to use it. And the platforms prefer video in my experience. If you have a still image and a video, the same ad but do two different versions of it, typically the video version in my experience will perform better. So video views would be under engagement. So that's what I'm going to do here for these purposes. Again, if you wanted a lead form, which I'll do a little bit, but if you wanted to have those leads, those opt-ins, not on your website, just on Facebook, like you've experienced, you click the thing and it auto-populates their information. They click continue, and then you can serve them up the link to the information or whatever you want to give them, or send them an email or whatever with your automation. You could do the lead form, but here we're going to do video views, continue. Um, Choose a campaign setup. I am going to always do manual engagement campaign. I don't want to do, they will kind of build the whole thing for you. I don't like the automations. I don't like the AI text. I don't like automation, all the automations yet. So I am going to say create it manually. And now this is the main ad editing display here. You can see on the left, it's going to show you uh, at the top is the campaign, and then underneath that is going to be your ad set. Your ad set is where you're picking your audience, and then under that is going to be the actual ad. So at the campaign level, I'm going to immediately come over here and I'm going to name it 18 Meeting House Spring Road, one of the longest road names ever. Uh, and then I'm going to call this ad drone video teaser, because I want, when I look in my ads manager, when I look at all the ads, I want to easily, just from the title of the ad, be able to know what that is, which one I want to click on and edit or do whatever to. You'll come up with kind of your own way of naming how you like to file your things and look at them, but I like to name it kind of what it is. So the property, it's the drone video teaser. And sometimes with listings, don't really need to put the date, but if I'm doing a retargeting ad or some other ad, I like to sometimes put the date right there and the time in the title also, so that at first glance I can say, oh, the last time I created that retargeting ad 8 months ago. I could just go edit that ad and make it the way I want it now, but a lot of times I just like it's easier, or I just prefer to just create a whole new ad. So I kind of like to have a date on there sometimes, don't really need to for listing ones, but so the ad campaign is going to name it exactly what it is for. And I'm skipping ahead, sorry. Then as you scroll down here, special ad categories again. In here, it's a little bit, they give you like a quiz. So you say, no, it's not about credit. No, it's not about employment. No, yes, it is about housing. People must be dumb. They must have figured that people need a quiz. No, it's not about election issues. And then based on your response, you are a housing category. Duh. So housing category selected. Countries, leave it on United States, unless you need otherwise, but typically leave that the way it is. The rest of the stuff under special ad category, that's explanatory information. Campaign details, you're not going to change this. Leave that as auction. You're not going to do the reservation. Campaign objective, that's the same thing they asked us earlier. You're not going to be changing that unless you have changed your mind. Go away. Oh well. Advantage campaign, advantage campaign budget. Typically turn that on. That means you put one budget here. So if I put $20 daily here for the campaign, it will distribute it over. If I built 4 ads in this campaign, it would distribute that money over those 4 ads, over different placements, and kind of figure out where it wants to put it and spread it equally. If I was going to put a bunch of different ads in this campaign, I would do that. In this case, I'm only having one ad. I'm just doing an ad just for that one post. I'm essentially boosting a post, but doing it in the more complicated, heady way, but not that complicated once you get in here. But so advanced campaign budget, I would turn that on if I was building something from scratch with a bunch of different ads. Here I'm leaving it off. A/B test also off. And we're past 10, which is fine. People can get the recording later. I'm not going to stop. If you're new to the room, I haven't reset Clubhouse. If you're in Clubhouse and you're new to the room, click above to go to the Google Meet. Not many people left, but that's all right. Okay, so message. Where am I at? Conversion. Oh, what am I trying to get people to do? We are doing a video ad, so I'm trying to get people to watch the video, but you can have an action you're trying to get people to do. So we're targeting people that watch videos. We're trying to get video views, but there's also going to be a button on this ad. So I'm going to do website. You could send people to a Facebook page or to do something on there, to message you, blah, blah, to call you. Again, I don't like to do calls on here, but website is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to send people to the website. I'm going to leave it at maximum number of conversions. Facebook is going to target the people who like to click to go to websites. possibly landing page views or more daily reach or maximum number of impressions. If I just wanted to show it to, I don't really care. I want people to click, but I'm not super concerned with that. I just want it to show to as many people as possible. I would select maximum number of impressions or maximum daily unique reach. In this case, I'm going to do maximum number of conversions, just trying to optimize for clicks to the website. Again, it's getting video views, but then kind of a secondary goal would be to get people to click to the website. The pixel, I'm selecting the pixel that I have set up. Again, it should track it anyway, even if you don't select it. And then you can also select a conversion option. So if you have your pixel set up to for a website visit, or like I said, you can have different things, view content, they viewed a specific thing, they've clicked a certain button, they've clicked the search button or the schedule button, like you can see here, submit application. If they've clicked certain things on your website and you have those turned on, you can track those things. Doesn't mean this is going to target the people that have been to your website. It means it's going to track that for you, and in your dashboard as one of your metrics, it's going to say like this ad got you this many website views, and it's going to tell you the cost per website view or whatever. So typically if you have this and you're doing this, and if you don't, again, don't worry about the Facebook pixel, but you would select the pixel, and then I would just leave it on the website visit is fine, because that's our main goal anyway. Not doing anything with the cost per result unless you're getting more complicated. More options, don't worry about that. Dynamic creative, leave off. Again, I don't want it changing my video and my need a drink of water. I don't want it changing my video to show different places, zooming in on it or doing things. So I usually turn that off. Budget, supposed to be spread equally. It's asking me again. Should still be spread equally over the ads. I'll probably just put here, since it's the same ad, 20 again, whatever my budget was. Start date, you can add an end date. If I'm doing a retargeting ad or something that's kind of running in perpetuity, I don't put an end date. It's just $5 a day till I turn it off. If you're doing a listing one, obviously, I said I'm going to turn it off. So I would put my budget, if we're following what I was saying before, which I didn't on the previous page, but here we are, $30 for 7 days, which would be until the 24th. And it would end on that open house day or whenever you tell it to end. Budget scheduling, I wouldn't do any of that stuff. Increase your budget during specific times. You could if you want to. Some people like to spend more of their budget during the day and not between the hours of like 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. because maybe that isn't the right people or whatever. But don't forget, same reason we put our Google business profiles to 24 hours a day. People with money are also on Facebook. People that work third shift, nurses, logistics, where I don't know, all the people that work at night also look at Facebook, also have lunch breaks and research moving, also do all those things. So I typically would not do that. You could if you wanted to, or if you're seeing that like all your money is being spent at night, and nobody's clicking, then maybe you want to turn that off and change it. But typically, you're just going to leave it the way it is. The ad scheduling in your audience, again, your regular targeting will be removed. You can't do age, you can't do sex, you can't do income. You can do a little bit of interests if you wanted to, but typically you can only do the location. So you would put, again, Carlisle plus, oh, I forgot. Yeah, you would put Carlisle plus 15 miles. I am not going to do that. I'm going to create a custom audience to show you how to create a custom audience. So I'll do that in a second, but I forgot to name this. So this ad set, I like to name my ad sets who the audience is, since that's basically what you're picking in the ad set part. So I would call this, which one am I going to do? I'm going to do all website visitors. Or let's do all contact us page visitors, because I already have one saved for the other one. So I'm going to call it that because that's what the audience is for that ad set. And if I had multiple ad sets, I could easily see when I'm in my ads manager which one is running to which and the numbers associated with the different ones, blah, blah, blah. So I'll name it that. Then I got all that stuff in targeting. You could use a saved audience if you have, like you can see here, I have an email list and page followers one. I should have a website one in there. That's weird. Anyhow, there will be one now. Maybe because I deleted a bunch of stuff earlier. Anyway, so you're going to create, it's pretty easy. Create new, create custom audience. It's going to give you a bunch of different uh, options in here. Obviously, to target people that have been to your website, like we're going to do, you have to have your pixel set up there and make sure that your pixel works and everything. But I'm going to do my website. And you could also do Facebook page if you wanted to retarget anybody that has interacted with one of your ads or anybody that has interacted, engaged, clicked on, commented, shared any of your Facebook business page posts or ads. Lots of different things you can do. That's a good way to retarget if you don't have a pixel on your page. If you're boosting a lot of posts and you're posting a lot on your Facebook business page and your website isn't up to snuff, the Facebook page is a good way to retarget people without having to deal with the pixel and set all that kind of stuff up. Again, video views, somebody that's watched a certain video, you can retarget. Lead forms, you can retarget people that have opened a lead form but not completed it. Instant experience, shopping, blah, blah, blah. So there are a lot of different ways you can retarget people. A customer list, if I clicked customer list, it would then allow me to either upload a list or I can connect it to my MailChimp. It does not integrate with all email providers. That's one reason I like MailChimp and recommend MailChimp. Number one, they have one of the best free versions, and it also connects to most all things like Facebook. So customer list is where you would go to do that, and they would prompt you through the things. You click, you log in, you say which list do you want to target, you select it, and then bam, you're done. In this case, we're going to do website people next. It's going to ask me which pixel. It's my real estate pixel. Events, all website visitors, people who visited specific pages, visitors by time spent, page views, that's a special conversion thing that I set up. In this case, I said we're going to do a specific page, so specific web page, and we'll add the web page down below. When I get to that, audience retention, it's going to show to people that have been to your website page or this website page in this instance in the past X number of days. The default is 30 days. Most people leave it as the default. Our sales cycle, people's timelines for buying and selling houses and when they first start looking at stuff to when they make a decision or do something is pretty long. So I double that to 60. You could potentially go even longer. I think the longest you can go back is 300 a year, but my default is typically 60. The default, if you don't change it, is 30. Blah blah blah, and you can make different audiences and test different ones. Obviously, if the further back you go, the bigger the pool of people you're going to have to show ads to. Then you need to put in, and I'm going to say equals. So if you're putting in a specific web page, you don't want to say contains because it could be agentderek.com and then any like the contact us, the search us, the sellers services, all the different ones. So I don't want to say contains or doesn't contain. I want to say equals if I'm talking about people that visited a specific page. Then I'm going to, I'm going to go get my contact us link, go back here, plop it in there, and then it's only going to target people that have been to that page, which is going to be like 0 probably, but whatever for this example. And also you could add other ones, yada, yada. I'm just going to leave it as that one. Again, if you were just targeting all website visitors, you just click all website visitors. You could include or exclude people that have been to the thank you page of this offer that I'm selling. You guys don't have that, but I do. So if I wanted to show ads to everybody except the people that have already bought, I could exclude people that have been to the thank you page. That's an easy way to do that. And then the audience name, I just name it what it is. So contact us website page visitors 60 days. And then I also, again, I like to date things that I create. I don't know that you really need to, but I don't know. Everybody has their own little quirks, and I've run out of space even. 24. I like to put a date on there, and then for the description, if you have some special description, you could, but I just paste the same thing. So I know what audience this is for me to select later if I want to. Create custom audience. And now your audience has been created. You can create a lookalike audience. If you clicked that, it would create an audience uh, made up of people similar to, according to Meta, similar to the people that have already visited your website or are already on your email list or whatever. So that's a big thing that people do. A lookalike audience that can expand your ad reach a lot to people that might also have an interest or are similar to the people that like you or have interest in your business. So create a custom lookalike audience. I'm not going to do that right now. Create another one, blah, blah, blah. I'm just clicking done. So now you can see I have my custom audience sitting there. And then you could still change the location. I don't change any of the other stuff if I'm doing a custom audience because I just want those things. You could also restrict it to Carlisle people. And maybe I would because you might have a lot of people like me, like people around the nation looking at my stuff. And maybe I don't want to show my ads to agents across the nation. I just want to show it to people that have been to my website and are also in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So I might change the location of Carlisle. In this case, I'll just leave it the way it is. And then after you have this entire audience created, and again, it's not giving me the option to save the audience. If I click here, usually there's a button. Maybe it's a glitch today. Anyhow, there should be. Usually, oh, my share screen. No, that's not it. I don't know. You should be able to save your audiences. I'm not going to spend more time trying to figure out where it is now, but you should be able to save audiences. And then the next time you come in here, you can click Use Saved Audiences, and I could click Contact Us Website Visitors, and then it would show up there to make it easier. And you could also use it in a boosted post typically. So now I've created my audience, all this other stuff at the bottom. I'm leaving the way it is. You could change it if you want to. The placements part here, like I said, when you boosted a post, it did not give you as many options to turn on and off as to where it shows Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and then feeds versus reels versus stories and everything. Didn't give you many options. On here, it does give lots of options, granular options. So you click on the feeds one, and it should give me a drop down. No, there we go. A drop down so I can say show it in all the feeds. And typically I want it in all the feeds. So that one I'm definitely leaving on. Stories and reels, typically leaving on if it's a horizontal video and you think it'll look stupid or you just don't want it in stories and reels, you could turn that off. You can also select which stories or reels. I could have it in Instagram stories, but not in Facebook stories or reels or whatever. So you can turn that on and off if you wanted to. In stream videos, I would leave that on. Search results, I would leave that on. Messages, apps and sites, sometimes I turn those off. If I'm turning any off, a lot of times it's that one because a lot of times it will spend your money. So if somebody plays Words with Friends or the Wall Street Journal app or any free app for the most part that has ad breaks, Shopify, they probably have their own ad network, but a lot of different apps and websites have ad networks. And it will spend your money there, and it's not necessarily going to the people you want to target. I mean, if you're retargeting people, it's probably showing to the right people, hopefully. But I've found that it's a low conversion placement, and if it's spending all your money there, I would definitely turn it off so that you can have your ads show in better places like the feed and reels and stories, even if your cost per view or whatever goes up a little bit, as it's hitting people where it's going to have more of an impact. Uh, I forgot I have a video call right now. We're almost done anyway, so let me text to that video call. I didn't realize we were that far in. Sorry, in Clubhouse room still be there in a few. Sorry. Shoot. All right. Story's real. So you can turn on and off your placements there. Click next. I would just leave it on automatic. And then under your ad, this is where we're actually picking the ad that we're making. And in this case, we're not creating an ad from scratch. We're going to use an existing post. So again, I'm going to say post video teaser, or I was the drone one or whatever, something to that effect. Identity, going to be the right Facebook page. Make sure you have the right Facebook page. If you have your Instagram connected to your Facebook page, I do not, because I like to have that personal account, and I won't get into that. But if you had an Instagram connected, you could connect the Instagram there. It will still show on Instagram. It just not will show on Instagram as an ad from that your Instagram page. Ad setup, use existing post, like I said. Scroll down, leave that multi-advertiser thing on. Click select post. Scroll down to the one you want. Teaser. I don't know. It's one of these. No, vertical. It's definitely not that one. Guess it doesn't really matter all that much. I think that's a video. I can't tell which one's which. Anyway, click the post that you want, select it. Then it shows you previews on the side so you can see what it looks like in all the placements. If you didn't like it in one of those, you could go back and turn it off. You can also add extra. You could add a vertical version if you wanted to, but to keep it simple, we just let it go the way it is. The text from the post is in there already, so don't have to do anything there. Call to action button. Like I said, we do want a button, so leave it as learn more. And then put your website link, whatever it is, in there. A note, once you create an ad with a post, you will not be able to remove that button or edit that post. So make sure you don't want to change anything before you make it. Website events, again, I'm turning on my pixel if I have it. All the other stuff doesn't matter. URL parameters, good thing to do, but I'm not going to bother you with that right now. It doesn't matter all that much. So I would leave it, and then you would click publish. And once you click publish, you will see your ad show up under your campaigns, and it would say in review, and then it should say processing, or maybe vice versa, and then at some point it'll say active, and it might even say learning. There is some learning phase. They say it takes $100 to learn. I know it learns a little bit faster sometimes, but it might also say learning for a while if you see that. And and while it's learning, it is running and showing your ad and spending your money. So it'll say in review, then it'll be running, and then you can turn it off, on and off, and then click the little pen to redo if you need to. So that's creating an ad, boosting an ad from scratch. And we won't have any questions because I got to get to this video coaching session, but I will stop presenting and stop my recording on Google Meet. Thanks for the couple of you that hung out for a while. Stopping recordings. Everybody that's watching this later, see you later. Hit me up if you have any questions. Stopping recording now. And on Clubhouse, thanks for attending. The few of you that stuck around, hopefully more people watch it later. The video recording will be out at some point whenever I can process it, and see everybody later. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and peace out.
Thank you.